Hey guys, today is going to be an exciting video. It is we're going to go through chapters 7 through 16 of Enoch, and it's going to kind of blow your minds. I'll be honest with you, it is powerful, and there's a lot to it. I've had to read the book of Enoch many times, asking the Spirit to lead and protect and guide me in the book of Enoch. There's a lot to it. There's a lot of powerful truth, but it is extremely interesting, and it can kind of sound a little over the top sometimes, but once you compare it to other scriptures of the 66 book canon, it really does expound and give more detail of the accounts of the Watchers and the mating with the daughters of man and having the 3 different races of giants and kind of what happened. So let's just get straight into it, guys. Thank you for joining me, and if you like this kind of stuff, like, comment, subscribe, and share. If you believe that others will be blessed from this type of content as well, and that is our goal in this channel, and in doing this is to reach people that are hungering and thirsting for righteousness and seeking truth. So we love you guys, and we're glad that you're on this journey with us. So starting in chapter 7 of Enoch, and by the way, if you want to get the Sefer, it's an amazing tool to get. You can get the hard copy, or there's an app on the phone that's cheaper. But they're both amazing tools for your journey of seeking truth. All right. It happened after the sons of man had multiplied in those days, that daughters were born to them, elegant and beautiful. And when the Watchers, the sons of heaven, beheld them, they became enamored of them, saying to each other, "Come, let us select for ourselves women from the progeny of men, and let us beget children." Then their leader Shemaiah said to them, "I fear that you may perhaps be indisposed to the performance of this enterprise, and that I alone shall suffer for so grievous a crime." But they answered him and said, "We all swear and bind ourselves by mutual execrations that we will not change our intention, but execute our projected undertaking." Then they swore all together, and all bound themselves by mutual execrations. Their whole number was 200, who descended upon Ardis, which is the top of Mount Harmon. That mountain, therefore, was called Harmon, because they had sworn upon it, and bound themselves by mutual execrations. These are the names of their chiefs: Shemaiah, who was their leader, Yerikabramal, Akabal, Tamayal, Ramual, Danal, Askal, Saraknal, Azal, Armers, Bartral, Anan, Zavib, Samzaval, Artal, Tural, Yamayal, Arizal. These were the prefects of the 200 angels, and the remainder were all with them. Then they took women, each choosing for themselves, whom they began to approach, and with whom they cohabited, teaching them sorcery, incantations, and the dividing of roots and trees. And the women conceiving brought forth giants, and they bore to them 3 races first. The great giants, the giants brought forth the Nephilim, and the Nephilim brought forth the Eloid. And they existed, increasing in power according to their greatness, whose stature was each 300 cubits. These devoured all the labor of men, until it became impossible to feed them, when they turned themselves against men in order to devour them, and began to injure birds, beasts, reptiles, and fish, to eat one another's flesh, and to drink their blood. Then the earth reproved the unrighteous. Moreover, Azazel taught men to make swords, knives, shields, breastplates, the fabrications of mirrors, and the workmanship of bracelets and ornaments, to the use of paint, the beautifying of the eyebrows, stones of every valuable and select kind, and all sorts of dyes. So the world became altered. Impiety increased, fornication multiplied, and they transgressed and corrupted all their ways. Amasakarach taught all the sorcerers and dividers of roots, armors the solution of sorcery, Barkaal the observers of the stars, Akibaal signs, Tamiaal taught as astronomy, and Azaradal taught the motion of the moon, and men being destroyed cried out, and their voice reached to heaven. Then Michael and Gabriel, Michael and Gabriel, Raphael, Suriel, and Uriel looked down from heaven and saw the quantity of blood which was shed on earth, and all the iniquity which was done upon it, and said one to another, the voice of their cries, the earth deprived has cried even to the gate of heaven. And now to you, O you Holy One of heaven, the souls of men complain, saying, bring judgment to us from Al Elyon. Then they said to their Adonai, the king, Adonai HaKadim, Alua Allah Hakim, Melech Hamahalakim. The throne of your glory is forever and ever is your name sanctified and glorified. You are blessed and glorified. You have made all things. You possess power over all things, and all things are open and manifest before you. You behold all things, and nothing can be concealed from you. You have seen what Azazel has done, how he has taught every species of iniquity upon earth, and has disclosed to the world all the secret things which are done in the heavens. Shamayaza also has taught sorcery, to whom you have given authority over those who are associated with him. They have gone together to the daughters of men, have lain with them, have become polluted, and have revealed their sins to them. The women likewise have brought forth giants. Thus has the whole world been filled with blood and with iniquity. And now, behold, the souls of those who are dead cry out and complain even to the gate of heaven. Their groaning ascends, nor can they escape from the unrighteousness which is committed on earth. You know all things before they exist. You know these things, and what has been done by them. Yet you do not speak to us. What on account of these things ought we to do to them? Then Al Elyon, the great and holy one, spoke and sent Arsayalayir to the son of Lamech, saying, say to him in my name, conceal yourself. Then explain to him the consummation which is about to take place. For all the earth shall perish, the waters of the deluge shall come over the whole earth, and all things which are in it shall be destroyed. And now teach him how he may escape, and how his seed may remain in all the earth. Again, Yahuwah said to Raphael, bind Azazel, hand and foot, cast him into darkness, and opening the desert, which is in the Doal, cast him in there. Throw upon him hurled and pointed stones, covering him with darkness. There shall he remain forever. Cover his face, that he may not see the light. And in the great day of judgment, let him be cast into the fire. Restore the earth, which the angels have corrupted, and announce life to it, that I may revive it. All the sons of men shall not perish in consequence of every secret by which the watchers have destroyed, and which they have taught their offspring, All the earth has been corrupted by the effects of the teaching of Azazel. To him, therefore, ascribe the whole crime. To Gabriel also Yahuwah said, go to the bastards, to the reprobates, to the children of fornication, and destroy the children of fornication, the offspring of the watchers from among men. Bring them forth and excite them one against another. Let them perish by mutual slaughter, for length of days shall not be theirs. They shall all entreat you, but their fathers shall not obtain their wishes respecting them. For they shall hope for eternal life, and that they may live, each of them, 500 years. To Michael, likewise, Yahuwah said, go and announce his crime to Shemayaza, and to the others who are with him, who have been associated with women, that they might be polluted with all their impurity. And when all their sons shall be slain, when they shall see the perdition of their beloved, bind them for 70 generations underneath the earth, even to the day of judgment and of consummation, until the judgment, the effect which will last forever, be completed. Then shall they be taken away into the lowest depths of the fire in torments, and in confinement shall they be shut up forever. Immediately after this shall Shemayaza together with them burn and perish. They shall be bound until the consummation of many generations. Destroy all the souls addicted to lust, and the offspring of their watchers. For they have tyrannized over mankind. Destroy all the souls addicted to lust, and the offspring of the watchers, for they have tyrannized over mankind. Let every oppressor perish from the face of the earth. Let every evil work be destroyed. The plant of righteousness and of rectitude appear, and its produce become a blessing. Righteousness and rectitude shall be forever planted with delight. And then shall all the Kedoshim give thanks and live until they have begotten 1,000 children, while the whole period of their youth and their Shabbathot shall be completed in peace. In those days all the earth shall be cultivated in righteousness. It shall be wholly planted with trees and filled with benediction. Every tree of delight shall be planted in it. In it shall vines be planted, and the vine which shall be planted in it shall yield fruit to satisfy. Every seed which shall be sown in it shall produce for 1 measure 1,000, and 1 measure of olives shall produce 10 presses of oil. Purify the earth from all oppression, from all injustice, from all crime, from all impiety, and from all the pollution which is committed upon it. Exterminate them from the earth. Then shall all the children of men be righteous, and all nations shall pay me divine honors and bless me, and all shall adore me. The earth shall be cleansed from all corruption, from every crime, from all punishment, and from all suffering. Neither will I again send a deluge upon it from generation to generation forever. In those days I will open the treasures of blessing which are in heaven, that I may cause them to descend upon earth and upon all the works of labor of man. Peace and equity shall associate with the sons of men all the days of the world, in every generation of it. Before all these things Enoch was concealed, nor did any one of the sons of men know where he was concealed, where he had been, and what had happened. He was wholly engaged with the holy ones and with the watchers in his days. I, Enoch, was blessing the great Yahuwah of King of Peace. And behold, the watchers called me Enoch the scribe. Then Yahuwah said to me, Enoch, scribe of righteousness, go tell the watchers of heaven who have deserted the lofty sky and their holy everlasting station, who have been polluted with women, and have done as the sons of men by taking to themselves women, and who have been greatly corrupted on the earth, that on the earth they shall never obtain peace and remission of sin, for they shall not rejoice in their offspring. They shall behold the slaughter of their beloved. They shall lament for the destruction of their sons, and shall petition forever, but shall not obtain mercy and peace. Then Enoch, passing on, said to Azazel, you shall not obtain peace. A great sentence is gone forth against you. He shall bind you, neither shall relief, mercy, and supplication be yours, on account of the oppression which you have taught, and on account of every act of blasphemy, tyranny, and sin, which you have discovered to the children of men. Then departing from him, I spoke to them all together, and they all became terrified and trembled, beseeching me to write for them a memorial of supplication, that they might obtain forgiveness, and that I might make the memorial of their prayer ascend up before Elohim of heaven, because they could not themselves thenceforwards address him, nor raise up their eyes to heaven on account of the disgraceful offense for which they were judged. Then I wrote a memorial of their prayer and supplications for their ruachot, for everything which they have done, and for the subject of their entreaty, that they might obtain remission and rest. Proceeding on, I continued over the waters of Dan, which is on the right to the west of Hermon, reading the memorial of their prayer until I fell asleep. And behold, a dream came to me, and visions appeared above me. I fell down and saw a vision of punishment, that I might relate it to the sons of heaven and reprove them. When I awoke, I went to them. All being collected together stood weeping in Abelazal, which is situated between Lebanos and Siniser, with their faces veiled. I related in their presence all the visions which I had seen in my dream, and began to utter these words of righteousness, reproving the watchers of heaven. This is the sefer of the words of righteousness, and of the reproof of the watchers who are from eternity, according to that which he who is holy and great commanded in the vision. I perceived in my dream that I was now speaking with a tongue of flesh, and with my breath, which Elohim has put into my mouth, into the mouth of men, that they might converse with it and understand with the heart, as he has created and given to men the power of comprehending the word of understanding. So has he created and given me the power of reproving the watchers, the offspring of heaven. I have written your petition, and in my vision it has been shown to me, that what you request will not be granted you as long as the world endures. Judgment has been passed upon you. Your request will not be granted you. From this time forward, never shall you ascend into heaven. He has said that on the earth he will bind you, as long as the world endures. But before these things you shall behold the destruction of your beloved sons. You shall not possess them, but they shall fall before you by the sword. Neither shall you entreat for them, not for yourselves, but you shall weep and supplicate in silence. The words of the Sefer which I wrote. A vision thus appeared to me. Behold, in that vision clouds and a mist invited me. Agitated stars and flashes of lightning impelled and pressed me forwards. while winds in the vision assisted my flight. Accelerating my progress, they elevated me aloft to heaven. I proceeded until I arrived at a wall built with stones of crystal. A tongue of fire surrounded it, which began to strike me with terror. Into this vibrating flame I entered, and drew nigh to a spacious habitation built also with stones of crystal. Its walls, too, as well as pavement, were formed with stones of crystal. And crystal likewise was the ground. Its roof had been the appearance of agitated stars and flashes of lightning. And among them were cherubim of fire, and their heavens was water. A flame burned around its walls, and its portal blazed with fire. When I entered into this dwelling, it was hot as fire and cold as ice. No trace of delight or of life was there. Terror overwhelmed me, and a fearful shaking seized me. Violently agitated and trembling, I fell upon my face. In the vision I looked, and behold, there was another habitation, more spacious, every entrance to which was open before me, erected in a vibrating flame. So greatly did it excel in all points, in glory, in magnificence, and in magnitude, that it is impossible to describe to you either the splendor or the extent of it. Its floor was on fire. Above were lightnings and agitated stars, while its roof exhibited a blazing fire. Attentively I surveyed it, and saw that it contained an exalted throne, the appearance of which was like that of frost, while its circumference resembled the orb of the brilliant sun, and there was the voice of the cherubim. From underneath this mighty throne, rivers of flaming fire issued. To look upon it was impossible. One great in glory sat upon it, whose robe was brighter than the sun and whiter than snow. No angel was capable of penetrating the face of him. The glorious and the effulgent, nor could any mortal behold him. A fire was flaming around him. A fire also of great extent continued to rise up before him, so that not one of those who surrounded him was capable of approaching him, among the myriads and myriads who were before him. To him holy consultation was needless. Yet did not the sanctified who were near him depart far from him either by night or by day, nor were they removed from him. I also was so far advanced with a veil on my face and trembling. Then Yahuwah with his own mouth called me, saying, Approach hither, Enoch, at my holy word. And he raised me up, making me draw near even to the entrance. My eye was directed to the ground. Then addressing me, he spoke and said, Hear, neither be afraid, O righteous Enoch, you scribe of righteousness. Approach hither and hear my voice. Go, say to the watchers of heaven, who have sent you to pray for them, you ought to pray for men, and not men for you. Wherefore have you forsaken the lofty and holy heaven, which endures forever, and have lain with women, have defiled yourselves with the daughters of men, have taken to yourselves women, have acted like the sons of the earth, and have begotten giants? You being spiritual, holy, and possessing a life which is eternal, have polluted yourselves with women, have begotten in carnal blood, have lusted in the blood of men, and have done as those who are flesh and blood do. These, however, die and perish. Therefore have I gotten to them women, that they might cohabit with them, that sons might be born of them, and that this might be transacted upon earth. But you from the beginning were made spiritual, possessing a life which is eternal, and not subject to death forever. Therefore, I made not women for you, because being spiritual, your dwelling is in heaven. Now the giants who have been born of the Ruach and of flesh shall be called upon earth evil Ruachot, and on earth shall be their habitation. Evil Ruachot shall proceed from their flesh, because they were created from above. From the holy watchers was their beginning and primary foundation. Evil Ruachot shall they be upon the earth, and the Ruachot of the wicked shall they be called. The habitation of the Ruachot of heaven shall be in heaven, but upon earth shall the habitation of terrestrial Ruachot, who are born on earth. The Ruachot of the giants are like Nephilim, which shall oppress, corrupt, fall, content, and bruise upon earth. They shall cause lamentation. No food shall they eat, and they shall be thirsty. They shall be concealed, and shall rise up against the sons of men and against women, for they come forth during the days of slaughter and destruction. And as the death of the giants, wheresoever their Ruachot depart from their bodies, let their flesh, that which is perishable, be destroyed before the judgment. Thus shall they perish until the day of the great consummation of the great world. A destruction shall take place of the watchers and the impious. And now to the watchers who have sent you to pray for them, who in the beginning were in heaven. Say, in heaven have you been. Secret things, however, have not been manifested to you. Yet you have known and reprobated mystery. And this you have related to women in the hardness of your heart. And by that mystery have women and mankind multiplied evils upon the earth. Say to them, never, therefore, shall you obtain peace. Brothers and sisters, that's the account of the watchers and what happened. And I understand that it can be, there's a lot in that, and it's not easy to understand with one reading. But I wanted to read that, and as you can replay this video, and you can go to the set for yourself and read it for yourself. And there's a lot of powerful nuggets in there. The important part of all this is to understand that the depths of what happened, it did alter the world and it did corrupt the world. And a lot of studies can come from that, of what those watchers taught men, and how even in the 66 book canon, it talks about how the Nephilim were before the flood and after the flood. So having an understanding, a greater understanding of how that plays its part in these end times is important. And if y'all have any questions or concerns or insight further along in this matter, please leave your comments below. And we love you guys. We pray for y'all guys. We pray y'all have an amazing Shabbat coming soon, a day of rest and reflection of this past week and the hopes of a better future, Yah willing. Shalom.